What if a modern doctor went to medieval Europe? Day 1. You wake up in the streets of London, where illness is treated with tradition and prayer. You see doctors walking around wearing beaks. They call it medicine. You call it infection. Day 2. You boil water before drinking it, wash your hands before you touch a patient, and clean wounds instead of covering them. They mock you until fewer people die. Day 3. You isolate the sick and separate clean from contaminated. You burn infected cloth. The survival rates rise. They call it a miracle. Day 4. A child with a high fever survives the night because you cool him and keep him hydrated. Word spreads faster than disease ever did. They stop calling you a miracle and start following. Day 5. You introduce basic sanitation. Hope grows. People travel miles to see you and line up outside your door before sunrise. Day 6. The church gets word of you. They watch you heal without prayer and cure without ritual. They don't question your results, they question your authority. Day 7. The church closes in and you're removed before sunrise. You're erased, but your methods remain. What if you brought electricity to ancient Persia? Day 1. You wake up on your knees. The city gathers for your execution, but a storm is coming. Oil won't last the night. You say you can make light without oil. Everyone laughs. You make a light bulb. It glows. You get spared. Day 2. The storm crashes into the city. Strong winds blow out oil lamps, but your lights stay on. You've proven your worth. You are given tools and a guarded workshop. This is your big breakthrough. Day 3. You reveal something greater than light. You build the first electric carriage. There are no horses and no camels needed. The court watches in stunned silence as it moves materials with no effort. You just gave Persia modern transportation. Day 5. You begin producing an army of electric carriages. Goods travel across the empire without stopping for rest. Trade routes that once took weeks now take days. Markets expand. You end up with mountains of gold without drawing a single sword. Day 7. Merchants start flooding the city. Electric carriages cross the desert in organized lines. Neighboring kingdoms rely on Persian to survive. You control the power over the richest empire. What if you sold fried chicken in ancient Greece? Day 1. You arrive in Greece with raw chicken, flour, oil, and a bronze pot. Philosophers are debating. Athletes training nearby in the dust. They eat figs and barley. You season the chicken and prepare it. Lower it into hot oil. The crackling sound cuts through conversation. The smell spreads through warm Mediterranean air. 20 men gather up and stare at you. Day 2. You set up outside the Acropolis of Athens. People wait hours for your meat. They start calling it Golden Bird. 30 athletes line up after training. Grease on their fingers, silence while chewing. By nightfall, you've made a week's wage. Day 3. Things go downhill. Oil needs replacing. Chicken spoils in the heat. Half your stock wasted. You cross the countryside at sunrise. Strike a deal with a farmer outside the city walls. Fresh chicken and oil every morning. Week 1. Socrates approaches your stand. You decide you're gonna teach him a lesson, but this time he doesn't ask a question. He just tries your chicken and leaves. You call him a weirdo. He just walks away. Month 6. The lines extend. You get called to make chicken for the emperor. He tries it with tears in his eyes. You get given a kitchen and workers. You reach peak ascension. Year 1. People all over the country have tried your meat. You didn't bring fried chicken to Greece. You brought.
What if you were raised by crocodiles? Age 2, you fall into muddy water, something massive moves below you, it doesn't bite, but it's scary. Age 5, you grow up in warm green silence. You learn to float without splashing. Blinking is optional, moving is suspicious. You're still not sure if you can trust them. Age 10, you wait for hours in still water. Mosquitoes land on you. You don't react. You are basically furniture. Age 15, you master the surprise attack. Fast, precise. You scare animals by accident. They call you a river demon. You call it just another Tuesday. Age 20, the river belongs to your family. Everyone avoids certain areas. You don't chase, you let them imagine things. Age 25, one day, you follow the river farther than usual. You find a broken house near the shore. You walk beyond it. The swamp opens into a road. Cars sit abandoned. You keep walking. A city stands ahead, silent, buildings cracked, streets empty. Something ended humanity. You stand in the middle of the street. You realize something slowly. You survived because you were never part of it. The swamp saved you. But now, it's your turn to figure out what happened.